Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert, riding solo here for this little special bonus stream here. We're doing a contest for the Stanley Cup Final here, Stanley Cup Final props contest. So I'm just going to run you through how to do that, look at all the picks, look at what I might be picking. I have not done any research as of yet, so it should be a fun live thing to do here. We will have our full Stanley Cup Final Conn Smythe preview, all that good stuff on Tuesday night, probably around 9 p.m. Eastern there. So keep a lookout for that. That was supposed to be tonight, but some scheduling issues. So that will be on Tuesday here. So, yeah, we got a big Stanley Cup Final props contest. The winner gets a NHL jersey of their choice, and the second place gets a $100 SGPN gift card. First place also gets the SGPN gift card, so you can get some of our sick Hockey Gambling Podcast merch there in the store. But so yeah, here you go for this contest. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Stanley Cup. That should bring you up to a screen that looks something like this here. This one here. Let me do this one. This one here. How to enter. You go to sign up for Edge Boost using promo code SGPN. Signing up's completely free. You don't have to enter anything. You just put in your email, sign up using our promo code, check your email for an invite to the contest. And then it says right there, prizes: first place jersey and a $100 gift card. Second place, $100 SGPN gift card. Submit the email below you use to sign up on Edge Boost. So a few steps there, but once you get through that, you will get to this, which is what I have already done. Thank you for responding. You can join the contest here, and then it takes you to the contest. Here's the contest. It has our little Tuesday night video up ready on play action pools here. So you scroll down, rules, answer each question, points vary. Got to answer different questions. Game on winner, head-to-head goals, head-to-head points, head-to-head saves, series props, all this good stuff down here. So before I get into that, though, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. That's where we're going to be doing our primary stuff there. You can see when we go live, especially if we're recording the day of or the day before. Get the most information there. I might be doing some post-game shows as well. So make sure you check that out. And maybe check it out. Check out the YouTube for this video with the step-by-step walkthrough of this competition, this contest. But it shouldn't be too complicated. So make sure you check all that out. Follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN for any details and updates. And get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord for all of that good stuff. And once again, it is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Stanley Cup to get to that form to sign up for the contest. So yeah, here we go. The first question here, game one winner. Yep, this is worth a point. Panthers worth a point. Oilers worth a point. I mean, Oilers are the home favorites. We do know that. They're favored in game one. They're kind of favored in the series. Depends what book you look at here. So but I could see Panthers stealing on the road too. But these teams have been the two best road teams in the entire playoff. So it would not be surprising to see any team win on the road at home here. So this is just, 1 point. Go with what you think. I'm gonna take my Cats. And the Cats come out firing. Oilers might come back, but the Cats coming out firing. I might change that by the time we record on Tuesday, but right now that's what I'm feeling here. Then we got head-to-head total goals. You got Draisaitl versus Sam Reinhart. So let's look at the stats so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sam Reinhart was injured for a game. He only has 4 goals, while Leon Draisaitl has 7 goals there. Both teams do spread around their offense, but I think Leon Draisaitl, after not showing up in last year's Stanley Cup final, he had 3 assists, no goals. I think he will get that one going here. Looking at last year's stats for Reinhardt, he had 2 goals. So, could see Draisaitl is looking a lot more healthy this time around. So I would go for Draisaitl there. Head-to-head total goals, McDavid versus Tkachuk. That's an interesting one there as well, because McDavid's going to be going off. He's going to have tons of 2-point games, but primarily assists. So far in the playoffs, he does lead the way with 26 points. Only 6 goals, though. Tkachuk, 16 points, 5 goals. And Tkachuk has definitely come alive in the conference final there. So this is another good head-to-head here. I mean, McDavid versus Tkachuk. I think you got to go with McDavid, but could be a sneaky look there for Tkachuk. Definitely depends how he's looking. He only had 1 goal in last Stanley Cup final. you know what? I'm gonna go with the Oilers here. Go against my game one pick, but take McDavid over Kachuk. I just think he has a bigger opportunity for a few bigger games there. And then Evander Kane versus Sam Bennett. It's going to be interesting to see what the Oilers do with their line throughout the series, because we saw Corey Perry take Zach Hyman's spot on that top line in game five. But I wonder if that doesn't work, if they'll move Kane up there, or even if not. Kane is now on that second line with Draisaitl and Kapanen. Could be getting some easier matchups. Last year, Stanley Cup Final, Evander Kane got hurt, only played in two of those games, I believe, and did not have any points. -4, only three, no shots on goal in those two games. So he didn't have any, no damage there last year in the Stanley Cup Final. But looking at Sam Bennett in this series had 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. He's always shown up in the playoffs. He's looking for his big payday this offseason. Leads the way in the playoffs with 10 goals. So got to go with Bennett there. I think Bennett shows up big time in the Stanley Cup Final. But going with the two big boys on the Edmonton side, Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid for the head-to-head goals. Let's take a look down here at some head-to-head points. Once again, you got Draisaitl, but you got him against Kachuk here for the points. Draisaitl last, like I said, only 3 points. Kachuk only had 3 points as well. And I think probably right now Draisaitl is healthier than Kachuk, and I feel like it's going to be their power play is going to get going. Their power play has been better, I believe, than the Panthers in the playoffs, even though both penalty kills have been pretty bad. Yeah, Edmonton going at a 30% clip. Panthers power play 23.2. So going to go with Draisaitl over Matthew Tkachuk on the head-to-head points. McDavid versus Barkov, our two Conn Smythe boys there. Of course, McDavid last year had the 11 points in the Stanley Cup Final. Barkov only had 5. So far, it's McDavid 26, Barkov 17. This is probably the easiest one so far. I imagine most people will take McDavid. Maybe you take Barkov, go against the grain, get a 5-game series. Barkov's able to outscore him 5-4 or something. But I think McDavid has to be the play there. Then here we got Evander Kane versus Evan Bouchard, two teammates there. That's going to be interesting to look at as well. So far in the playoffs, Bouchard has 17 points. Kane only has 11. Last year, Bouchard played very well for Edmonton. He had 82 points in the regular season, 5 points in that Stanley Cup Final. So got to go with Evan Bouchard there again as of now. Yeah, let me see if any of these. I want to take a look at any of these head-to-head points are up and offered at DraftKings. I know they have some head-to-heads, and those can get you kind of into the head of what the market's thinking, what the odds makers are thinking of what they think of these head-to-head props here. So looking at some head-to-head props on DraftKings, do they not head-to-head points? Here we go. Head-to-head points. They have Kachuk versus Barkov. They have Draisaitl -300 against Matthew Tkachuk +200. McDavid Draisaitl -190 to +145. Kind of like McDavid there quite a bit. Bouchard -135 to Verhaeghe +105. Nurse Forsling, Nugent Hopkins Bouchard, Kane Marchand, Reinhart Nugent Hopkins. Plenty of options there for the head-to-head points to bet on at DraftKings. Don't think there's any. I mean, the Draisaitl Tkachuk is the only one we have on our contest there, and Draisaitl is the heavy favorite, as one would expect. Looking at the head-to-head goals, you got Draisaitl -180 to the McDavid +140, McDavid -165 to the Tkachuk +130. We do have that one in our contest there. Reinhart versus Tkachuk, kind of similar odds, -125, -105. Bennett favored over Kane, and then Bennett for Hagee at a pick'em. Perry Marchand, Lundell, Rodriguez, Forsling, Nurse there if you're going down the board a little bit. But just that McDavid Tkachuk one as far as our contest here is concerned. But might be interesting to dig into some of those head-to-head goals, head-to-head point markets across the board, because I know DraftKings here is the book I'm looking at, but FanDuel, the Canby books, other books have plenty of head-to-head markets. You might even be able to find some off-market lines there if you shop around pretty good there. So let's get back into the contest here. Head-to-head total saves. Skinner versus Bobrovsky. it's tough because if Skinner plays every game, if he doesn't get pulled, if Pickard doesn't get his net back, it could be Skinner. But I think there's a chance that Skinner doesn't play every game, and Pickard gets either, if the Panthers chase him, or if he gets hurt, or if he just has a bad game or two, they go back to Pickard for a momentum swing. Looking at last year's Stanley Cup Final goaltending, Stuart Skinner had 159 saves on 175 shots, and Bob had 168 saves, or 151 saves on 168 shots. Stolars was the only other goalie to get in on the action there. So Skinner won it last year by 8 saves. Anthony Stolar stole 7 saves from Bob as the backup. Maybe the Oilers chase Bob in one of those games there, but this is kind of a coin flip here. I'm going to go with Bob for now. I'm not going to enter anything official, but that's just what I'm feeling for that one. All right. Before we go any further, we are brought to you by EdgeBoost. EdgeBoost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. There's no usage fees and no minimums. You can earn cashback rewards, and there's 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. If you sign up this week, you'll get a free Refs Are Terrorist t-shirt. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt, and you can get in the contest there as well. Of course, Underdog Fantasy is going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. Make sure you check out our Twitter. I got a entry up there, so make sure you check us out on Twitter for the Underdog entry. And we got the Belmont Stakes coming up. Bet the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga with Naira Bets. Sign up today using promo code SGPN25 and get a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just getting started, Naira Bets makes it easy to jump into the action. This exclusive offer is just for the Belmont Stakes, so don't wait. Join now and claim your free $25 Belmont bet today at nyrabets.com/SGPN25. All right, through the head-to-head props now. So going down to some more series props. Over under 1.5 road wins. That's something I talked about a few series ago. I forget where it was just two teams that were great at home. And I mean, we've seen some series just every home team win. Not a ton of road wins, but as I said before on this podcast here, these two teams are the best road teams in the playoffs. We've seen both teams, I think, lose at home as well. Let me check their home records so far in the playoffs. Oilers are 6-1, Panthers are 4-3. So that is helpful for the Oilers there. And on the road, Florida 8-2, Edmonton 6-3. So I think I'll go on the over 1.5 road wins for that one. Will any player record a hat trick? I know that is a odds offered on DraftKings. Let me see if I can find that. You can bet on a player to have a hat trick. There's no, I know I've seen it. Series markets hat tricks. There you go. Hat tricks over. For there to be a hat trick is plus 160. No hat trick is minus 200. So that's that's the market pick to take the no. But with how some high scoring of these games got last year, 8-1, 5-1, a couple four goal games in there for Florida. We've seen, quite a few hat tricks in these playoffs. So I would not stop you if you want to take yes there, but I'm going to go with a no. Will any game reach double overtime? I know there's odds up for that as well. It's plus 340 on DraftKings. So no is the easy play there as well. Will any game be a shutout? Looking at last year, we got one shutout, Panthers 3-0 in game one. And so far in these playoffs, I mean, these are the two goalies that have been shutting teams out. Bob and Skinner both have 3 shutouts so far. So there could definitely be a shutout this time around. Let me see if there's anything. Series player props, goalie record. You can get Bob at plus 160, Skinner at plus 180 to get a shutout. I know some other books do offer there to be a shutout in the series. I don't see that as an option here. So going to have to just probably go, I don't know if they'd be a shutout this time around. Both teams do look good defensively, but they also do have a lot of scoring depth, decent power plays there as well. But you know what? I'll go with yes. I see some teams lock it down. Go with a shutout there. Will any game have 10 plus goals? This is another thing that does have odds for DraftKings. DraftKings, 10 plus goals, yes, plus 115. No, minus 145. So, the market does say no. 10 goals is a lot. Like even last year, when you consider how many blowout games there was 9 goals in one game, 8 goals in another, and then 7 and 6. They never got to 10. I don't see these two teams getting to 10 goals. So I'm going to go no for the contest and potentially no at minus 145 or better for the series as an actual bet, because that's it's a lot of goals. It's a lot of goals, especially between two teams that have been pretty stout defensively so far in the playoffs. Then here we have 35 and a half total goals. This is worth 3 points here. So 3 points towards the contest. All of these other ones so far have been worth 1 point. We do go to 5 points and maybe 10. Is it 10 points for the winner? Yeah. So picking the series winner is important. Over under 35 and a half goals. So last year, some quick math, there were 16 goals allowed by Skinner, 20 allowed by the Florida goalies, probably a few empty netters in there. So at least 36 last year, but that requires it to go 7 games. And you know what? It very well could go 7 games again, 6 games. I don't see this being a short series. Could get some higher scoring games, not quite 10 goals, but 8 or 9, and get a few of them. Those add up. So it's tough. This is a tough one here. I'll go with the over though. I think. Let me see. DraftKings has it. Yeah, set 35 and a half. Both over and under at minus 115. So quite some juice there. Yeah, got to go with the Stanley Cup Final salami. That's just something you got to do. It's for Joel there. All right. And then here, a Conn Smythe winner. You got McDavid, Bob, Barkov, Draisaitl, Kachuk in the field. This is also worth 3 points. This is a big point of conversation on our last episode. We recorded that on Saturday, I believe. We talked about the conference final stuff, the handshake stuff, the Ottinger, DeBoer stuff, which apparently right now, if you look at the rumors recently, it looks like DeBoer could potentially be out in Dallas. A lot of rumors flying there, which would not be surprising based on how he handled his time there. According to Dave Pagnotta of the fourth period, noise out of Dallas, repeat DeBoer. Per multiple sources, players are not pleased with how he handled several situations during the Western Conference Final, along with post-Game 5 and exit media remarks. Players have voiced concerns during internal exit interviews. DeBoer has 1 year left on his contract. So we'll see how that unfolds. We'll see if the Oilers put the final nail in DeBoer's coffin there after losing the Western Conference Final yet again. But getting back to the Conn Smythe discussion here, this is just very much in line with whichever team you think is going to win. If you think the Oilers are going to win, you're taking McDavid. Draisaitl has an outside chance. If he has 4 or 5 goals in the Stanley Cup Final, McDavid just primarily has assists. But so far, it's been McDavid with those big plays, those daggers late in the second period against Dallas. The breakaway he got past Rupe Hintz for in Game 5, I think that was. Like, he's come up with huge things, with huge moments, and I think if the Oilers win, the voters kind of have to give it to him after giving it to him last year in a losing cause, unless Draisaitl just goes absolutely nuclear with like a hat trick in Game 7 or something. Then maybe you can see it. If Draisaitl ends up with more goals and points than McDavid, possibly. He is playing on that second line with slightly worse line mates with Kane and Kapanen now. Had Podkolzin in for parts of the playoffs as well, but it's McDavid if you like the Oilers. And we've been pushing Barkov this whole way. Barkov has now leading the Panthers in points with 17. You got Bennett behind him at 16. He would be interesting to take for the field because then you have Bennett. You could have Hagee going off. You could have Reinhart going off. But this very much lines up with what team you think is going to win. I got Barkov. Got to go with Barkov there at the Conn Smythe. That makes my winner pick pretty easily with the Panthers. Then you got a over under 6.5 total games. This is worth 5 points. So this is worth as much as almost all those head-to-head combines. This is is this series going 7 games again? And you can look at the market here on DraftKings. To go 7 games is 2 to 1. To go 6 is 2 to 1. Anything shorter is 270 for 5 games and 6 to 1 for a sweep. Either way, so I mean, back-to-back game sevens with the rematch would be pretty cool to see. But I just somehow think it gets done in 6. It's not the fun thing. It's not the fun thing to say. We all want 7 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. You know what? I'll go over. I'll go over for my pick for now. Then you got total goals scored in series without going over as the tiebreaker. I'm not going to put my number in yet, but I have over 35.5. So it will be over that. So yeah, there's all the picks for the contest there. Picking the winner is obviously the most important with 10 points. Picking if it goes over under 6.5 games, 5 points, very important as well. Conn Smythe, 3 points. So that really aligns with the winner. So, getting the winner right plus the Conn Smythe winner gets you 13 points. And then if you get the over under total games, that's 18 points. Over under total goals, that's which kind of correlates to the over under total games. Like if you think it's going under 6.5 games, you take the under 35.5. That's the math there. But yeah, that's the big boys down there because all these, will any game reach a double overtime? Will any game be a shutout? Any hat trick? They're just 1 point. Head to heads, they're all 1 point. So those are fun. Though, those could be the difference, especially if we get a decent amount of entries that pick the Panthers in 7 with Barkov winning Conn Smythe, because people that listen to this podcast and are listening to our advice will probably take that. So mixing up those head to heads, getting those props correct are definitely going to be important as well there. All right, before I move any further, make sure you check out the Circa Resort and Casino Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. You'll get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 tab for stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. You can always get 15% off all the Circa properties with promo code SGP15. Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And of course, you got to check out Rhythm. You've heard us talking about them before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won as a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. Will be. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And of course, mybookie.ag is your place to bet on every sport, including the Stanley Cup playoffs and Stanley Cup final. For the true DGens, the MyBookie money bag. They accept customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, that's the contest there. I see you got some people in the chat. If you have any questions on the contest or anything else, hit me up. Just going to be looking at the some Conn Smythe stuff to close out the show. Final things out here. Not much has changed. Not much has changed in our minds since recording on Saturday. You got McDavid plus 110, Bob plus 270, Barkov plus 600, Draisaitl 10-1, Bennett 30-1, Kachuk 35-1. There was some movement on Verhaeghe. He's down to 66-1 now. FanDuel was hanging over 100-1 on that. Same thing with Reinhardt. He was 150 or something on FanDuel. Still 100-1 at BetMGM. And the thing is, there's a path for all of these guys. Like the Florida's scoring has been spread out enough where if any of these guys, has 5 or 6 goals, a few assists, a few key moments, like maybe the voters go for that. But I still just think it's Barkov. Barkov at 6-1 at FanDuel. You got 550, 5-1, 475. So the market is shortening. I do believe Wyshynski is going to be releasing his final Conn Smythe watch on Tuesday morning. Saw someone say he may have said that on a podcast recently, so keep an eye out for that on Tuesday morning. See if the market responds to that. And there was a NHL.com had a poll of 8 writers predicting the winner and predicting the Conn Smythe. 4 people picked the Panthers, 4 people picked the Oilers, and the people that picked the Panthers were split down the middle between Barkov and Bob there. So, I mean, even if you think Bob should win it, like it shouldn't be 270 versus 6-1, or even 270 versus plus 475. Like they should be a lot closer, and I feel like they will be, especially if the Panthers take game 1 and it's not a shutout, or even as soon as Tuesday or Wednesday morning once the market reacts to what people are saying. Because that's the big thing, is you're betting on what people think right now. You're not betting on who has the most points, who has the most goals. In this market, you're betting what will the media want to portray to who was the best player of the playoffs. And they gave it to a loser last year. I don't think they're going to do that again. I know there is markets up for that at different books. Prices all over the place. It was 9-1 before. Player to win Conn Smythe Trophy, but not Stanley Cup, is 20-1 at FanDuel currently. I think that's pretty high and potentially arbable at other books as well. So make sure you check that out. FanDuel also has position of Conn Smythe winner minus 360. For the forward, that's basically saying Bob won't win, which is a lot of what we're saying. Have the nationality there: Canada for a lot of them, the field, and then Finland for Barkov. Plus, who else is Finnish? Luosterainen, he might be Finnish, but that forward minus 360 could be a good parlay piece. Or if you don't mind laying minus 360 for 2 weeks here, that should come home for you. 20-1. I don't think it happens, but 5% chance that McDavid has a few amazing games and no one else does too much. Sure, but I don't think they'll give it to him in a losing effort again there. So that's the Conn Smythe. So pretty much stays the same. Barkov 6-1. Draisaitl has a chance, like I said, but I don't think he shouldn't be 7-1 when Barkov's 6-1 at some books. Bennett leads the team in goals, leads the playoffs in goals, I believe, with 10. So if he has 3 or 4 goals, maybe he sneaks in there at 30-1. Kachuk's been ramping it up. He's the face of American hockey since February, so maybe that helps him or hurts him depending on the voters. But 35-1 is a good price there. He's as low as 18-1 and 25-1. But yeah, we'll get into all this on Tuesday night. Should be around 8:30 or 9:00 Eastern time with myself and Joel, going over everything, going over game 1, going over series bets, going over how we're playing this, what we're looking to do game by game. If there's any, game 1 series bets, or, Oilers in 6, is that worth betting? Panthers in 6. So we'll get into all that. We'll get into the Conn Smythe stuff definitely as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube to know when we go live. Give us a thumbs up there, like, comment, subscribe. Love all of that good stuff from you guys. Make sure you follow on Twitter as well at HockeySGPN for the link and details on the contest. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us there. You can reach out to me on Twitter, or you can reach out in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. But that's going to do it for now. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.